What you're about to see is part 2 to my brand new Pentatonix album. I'm going through this brand new album, 3 different parts here on YouTube. If you would like to see the full uncut, unedited versions, the full compilated versions of this album reaction and breakdown of your favorite artists so that you can understand how much work these artists put into their music, go check out the Patreon right now. Continuing along, let's see what we got. This is the 4th track, Love Came on Christmas. So I guess this is why they're calling it Holidays Around the World, because it's like a whole mix of all different types of world's music, like just all these different genres, we'll call them, styles of music. Big reverb sound. Okay, before we get the main vocals coming in, I want to talk about this. Yo, Kevin's pitched toms in there. You hear like the things. I can't even, like, that is sick. That is so cool. It adds a really cool organic sound to it. And honestly, I think it'd be cool if more artists use that even with just general drums in general. That I can't even do it. It's supposed to be a tom drum sound. I like that. The Lord has come. Let earth receive the King. Joy to the world. Come on. Bass sound is sick, man. Wow, and that's sick. I can't tell what's a real instrument and what's not a real instrument. Like, what's voice and what's not. I can't tell anymore at this point. Really cool, just a little backstory on this one if you don't know. Kevin, Scott, and Matt wrote this track, which is cool. It's like a mix between Joy to the World, obviously, and a new lyric part that they put together. So it's a cool compilation between something that we're all really familiar with and their own spin on this. Yeah, go into that. I think that's the minor chord. I want to say that that's the 6th right there. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but it's interesting because that minor typically has a sadder, darker tone to it, and it's interesting that we're hitting that. It's creating this like interesting dissonance in there. Big layers of harmonies. Yo, who's hitting those killer high harmonies? One of the things that I really, really, really love about vocal basses is the girthy slide down that they do. Just, you can't, yeah, you can repeat that on like a regular bass, but there's something about the fullness of it that just is not matched on as a vocal bassist. I think it's really, really, really cool. This is fullness of tone. Come on. That was cool. So like we've constantly built throughout the song. So it's when you expect Right to go back to that chorus right there, you expect it to be an up chorus, but it's not. You have Mitch coming right here with his kind of mellow chorus, and it's almost catches you as a listener because like, oh hey, this is a cool breather section, as you might consider it, because like you would expect everything else to be up, that this would be up too, but it's not. So it's like, this is actually kind of cool. I love that little reprised, almost instrumental. Huge reverb throughout this whole song. In fact, I don't know if you noticed at the beginning, I lifted up my headphone right here because I was like wondering, I was like, am I hearing like through my speakers as well? Because sometimes that'll create like a reverberated sound because like you have like the space of the air coming through here and also the studio sound coming through here. So I was like, oh, is it coming through both? And I was like, oh no, that's just the straight reverb that they have going. There's a lot of reverb in this. It's a room reverb. It's like a close reverb as opposed to like this big cathedral hall reverb. Continuing along, we got the 5th track, A Star on Top. Dun, dun, dun. Is that a guitar?
End of the year, holiday cheer, that's when I notice. It's been a while, baby, since I made you know this. You are a gift I treasure.
I gotta say, man, I love PTX with some instruments in there. I love them, their music in general, but like they have such high quality voices. Then to add all these other instruments, I just feel like it adds this wholly new dynamic to their music. But each serves its purpose. Like sometimes it doesn't need it, and sometimes I think it really fits. And I think it's cool, man. I don't know.
It's been a while, baby, since I made you know this. You are a gift I treasure, your kiss in all of our moments.
Boldness,
so
man.
I'll be whatever you need to show it. Like a dog.
Nice. We got PTX going into a little bit of country style music. I feel like this is a country track, which is cool because like we just went from like I want to say world style music, which world is such a like large genre. It had this like world genre music, I guess is the best way to describe it because that's literally what it would be if it was on Apple Music. It's world genre music.
Just wanna let you know that I noticed.
That's a cool rhyme scheme right there. That's a real noticed and no. That's real and showed it. Holy mackerel! We bow, no, show, no, and noticed.
I'll be the garland with my arms out. You'll be the tree that I wrap around. I'll be a song on Christmas, and you'll be everything on this wish list. I'll be the fire, and you'll be the high. I'll string out the lights, and you'll be the star untied.
We gotta hear that again. Listen to the swirling vocals, the panning, trembling around. That's really cool, man.
And make a toast to Christmas night that we'll remember.
Distant strings in the back.
You'll be the angel in the white snow, and baby, I'll be the mistletoe. I'll be the garland with my arms out.
I really enjoyed that. That was really cool. I'm curious, trying to follow the storyline a little bit. I'm having a little trouble just seeing. Is this a love song, like to like someone special, like a lover? Is this a song to their like a child, or is this a song to like God? That's the beauty of love songs. You can kind of write one towards anybody of those. But I'm curious with their perspective, if you know. Let's see what we got. This is Prayers for the World. Wow, you hear that swirling?
These are hard times and these times feels like the world's about to capsize. Feels like it might take a miracle to make it out alive.
Okay, hold on a sec. I've listened to a lot of Pentatonix stuff on this channel. You guys have heard a lot of Pentatonix stuff. I'm actually curious. Maybe somebody could tell me. Does anybody know how many I have on the Pentatonix playlist? It's got, I don't even know at this point, but big fans of their work. And what's really interesting is to hear just addition and like the progress that they're making in quality of sound. Like this is serious top-notch production, like really good. But you hear them spinning around with the tremolo?
These are hard times and these times feels like the world's about to capsize. Feels like it might take a miracle to make it out alive.
Dude, like the quality's so good. First of all, that was a cool timbre shift between Mitch's voice and Scott's voice. Very different styles of singing. Mitch has a very direct, very straight, very powerful voice, and so does Scott. But it's very different in the sense that Scott's voice is a bit wider of a sound, broader of a sound. He had the rasp to it, which is really cool. You hear that vocal swell into the transition? That was really cool. This hands down has to be the best I've ever heard Scott sing. This is insanity. Like, it sounds so crazy good. Bass slide down. Strings. I don't know what changed in their voices, but they are exponentially more powerful than I've ever heard them. Like Kirsty's vocal right there is insane. Like Scott's vocal, and Mitch's like, but like they're all so. They seem like so confident in what they're singing. Like they truly, truly, truly believe, and they're like begging the prayers for this world. Like this is really cool, man.
Raise up our hands and rise together. It's gotta be now, is now or never. Pray for this world, we've got to save her.
I gotta pause. Dude, Scott's vocal sounds so insane right here. What's really interesting about this, I'm gonna rewind it a little bit. Listen to almost the sloppiness of it, in the sense of like, that's kind of why I feel like it's so believable, because like when we speak and we really mean something, like we emphasize certain things, we don't speak like robots. Listen to what I'm saying.
We've got to save it. Raise up our hands and rise together.
Like that raise up our hands kind of sounds like one word, you know, like, but that's the authenticity of like, you don't, when you're like screaming something and passionate, you're not like passionately saying every distinct word. You're not caring about that. You're just caring about the message.
Gotta be now, is now or never.
That's
Pray
crazy.
for this world, we've got to save her. So I'm gonna take a chance. I'm
Come
gonna
on.
make a change. Give all the love I can, 'cause that's the only way for us, way for us. I'm gonna pray for us, pray for us.
Nice echo
Praise for
reverb.
this world, bring peace to its doors, bring hope to its shores. We've got to change it.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. That was insane. What was also cool is in the video, the mix between like them and the black and white, but also the nature, right? Like there was a lot of flowers and nature things going on, and like it almost again gives this collaboration between the world. That's the worldly aspect, the earth, you know, and the prayers for the world. I thought that was cool too. This was insane, man. The vocal, the quality. Wow, my gosh, the best I've ever heard from them, hands down. Hark the Herald Angels Sing, featuring Haiba Tawaji. Very much looking forward to this. If I did a little bit of research for you, so you don't have to. In case you don't know who Haiba is, I did a little research. She is a Lebanese singer that was on the 4th season of the French version of The Voice. She was involved in The Voice in France, and she was the voice actress for the French version of Disney's Aladdin. Dude, her voice is insane. Let's talk about this. Interesting aspects of Eastern music versus Western music. Western being typical pop that you hear over here in America and the UK, and Eastern, like it's totally different genre and style of writing and recording. It actually, musically, it's very different in the sense of we use a 12-tone scale in Western music. For example, the notes A through G and the sharps and flats in between. Where Eastern style music uses chromatic tuning, microtones, in the sense of between, for example, the note C and C sharp, there are microtones that you can actually hit. For example, if you bend up a note in guitar between C and C sharp, you'll hear all these different notes in between. Eastern singers blow my mind in the aspect of like the fact that they're able to hit all those microtones instead of just the 12 tones that you're able to hit in American or Western style music. Eastern style music has all these extra tones, and the precision that you need to have to hit these notes make you that much better of a singer. I always find that incredibly impressive.
Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King.
Yo, that arpeggio.
Mercy mild, pardon sinners reconciled.
Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. I really like that. That's really nice.
Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn, glory to the newborn King, to the newborn King.
Dude, the rhythm section going on there from Kevin is really impressive. The really fast-paced rhythm section is genuinely really, really, really cool. It's like really driving the song, keeping it really energetic. I'd love to see the string section that they have. Come on. Whoa, do you hear that chromatic walk down? Bum, bum, bum. That's where we're at. See, that's the beauty of just the world, and like the sense of like, here's the same exact song, same exact melody, sung in a completely different language. And that's so cool to see just the same beliefs being shared. Like, for example, on Christmas night, at a church in America and a church, in Lebanon or France, wherever, you could be singing all the same song to the same God in different languages, and it's just pretty remarkable. This song is classic. We've done this song a ton of times for Christmas at church, which personally, I love doing like more modern stuff. Like some of these things are really cool, but they have so many verses. And then the verses, like all these Silent Night or Hark the Herald Angels Sings, one, they keep getting higher. The key just keeps going higher and higher and higher. And there's so many verses that people don't know. So I'm like, it'd be cool if we did them just way less, like way less of the whole song. Like it doesn't need to be a 5-minute song. I love that chromatic walk up. Nice layer. I love a good calm response, especially in two totally different languages. That is cool, man. I like this. Did you hear the flutters? I don't know. I'm not even gonna attempt to try it. You know what I mean? I like that. Whoa, that's a cool chromatic note up there, that dissonance. Listen to the really high soprano note. Did you hear that dissonance? That was cool. Very cool. What's going to be really cool about them playing this whole album live on tour is the amount of special guests that they have. They can bring out all different people, all different nights, which will be a really, really, really fun aspect of tour. Dude, PTX is crushing it with these star-studded track list. Oh my goodness. I want to know. If somebody can figure out, I'd love to know. Or if hopefully I can get some sort of interview with somebody involved in PTX. I would love to know how they got so many star-studded people on this track. So today, on this track, we have Christmas in Our Hearts featuring Leah Salonga, a Filipino singer, a singer from the Philippines, which actually I was doing a little research and I realized that like when you talk about a female from the Philippines, it's actually Filipina, a Filipina singer, which I didn't know. I thought that was actually pretty interesting. But a singer from the Philippines, pretty much the voice of every Disney character I've loved growing up. Mulan, she's the singer, voice of Mulan and Mulan 2, and also the voice of the female in Aladdin, which blows my mind because like I think Mulan was my favorite movie growing up as a kid. We used to watch it all the time on road trips, that and Disney's Toy Story. But oh my gosh, it's sick. I want to know how they got these collaborations, man. Star-studded track. This is Christmas in Our Hearts. This is like classic PTX. That right there is called the Plagal chord, by the way. Can't hear that without telling you about it. Plagal chord is a 4/1 chord. Classic. What they call the church chord, because it's used a lot in the Catholic Church, which is that 4/1 Amen chord.
Whenever I see girls and boys selling lanterns on the streets, I remember the child in the manger as he sleeps.
A lot of chromatic kind of notes in this whole album so far, which is really interesting. I've been really enjoying it. It's pretty cool. Another thing I want to talk about is one of my favorite things personally about a cappella style music is the, I guess you call it the attack of the notes. Little like I don't even know how to pronounce it, what word it is, but it's like the attack. What the attack is the start of any note. So for example, a snare drum has a very loud attack and a short decay. For example, a string has a slow attack and a long decay. It's how fast you hear that initial sound and how long the transient, actually, the height of the sound takes to be heard, and how long it takes to resolve or release. Attack, decay, sustain, and release is ADSR.
This season, may we never forget the
Preach.
as another new year starts.
Amen to that, man. I love these lyrics. These are great lyrics, man. Preach to these lyrics.
Spirit of Christmas be always in our hearts. In
Key
every
change.
prayer and every song, the community unites, celebrating
Rhythms, cool, man.
the birth of our Savior Jesus Christ. Let a love like that starlight on that first Christmas morn.
Nice stabs.
Lead us back to the manger where Christ the child was born.
Lego.
Come, let us rejoice. Come and
Dude, listen to the what's called the decay or the release of Kevin's kick drum, like the boom, boom. It's really impressive.
sing a Christmas carol with one big
Nice echo and
joyful
carol.
voice. Proclaim the
Wow, listen to the echo on those last notes. Carol and voice. Listen.
Sing a Christmas carol with one big joyful voice. Proclaim the name
That's a good mix.
of the Lord. Let's sing Mary.
I'm bopping along to this. This is a serious bop. Like, how do you not? This is a headbanger for real. Like, as acapella music, I'm bopping, man.
One to guide us as another new year starts, and may the spirit of Christmas be always in our hearts.
I talked to somebody about the layering. We already know that they layer vocals from the interview that I did with Ben Bram, which if you haven't seen those interviews or anything, I did one with Ben Bram, one with Ben Hasda, which is their videographer. Ben Bram is their producer and helps arrange things. And then I did 2 interviews with Ed Boyer, who's their a vocal mixer and just mixer in general.
One to guide us as another new year starts, and may the spirit of Christmas be always
This is catchy, man.
in our hearts.
That was cool, and honestly, I have never heard that track before in general. Like, I haven't heard that song at all. It was cool.